Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahans Parivraj Gacharya Upadesrita Sismat Shilabhai Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Sangvidi Paramacharya Vishvaya Deshwara Jai Ananda Puri Vaishnava Sangha ki Jai. And everything. Oh, it's not on the Namachar just started with the प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिनाथ श्याम राधा की जय। की जय। गंगा मैया की जय, जमुना मैया की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत वैष्णववृंद की जय, गौरीताय भगवान की जय, श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय, उपदेशामृत की जय, समवेत वैष्णववृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी और ग्लोरीज टू द असम्बली बॉडीज हरे कृष्णा, all glories to the assembled bodies Hare Krishna, all glories to the assembled bodies Hare Krishna, all glories to Sri Sighu and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Desvatari Vancha Kalpatana Vishnupada then we connect to this here connect to this internet then we have to sort it out. I think that can save it.
meaning last say this last setting is the same. It doesn't. Maybe here one is asking, so we can do it. Oh yeah. Task. Once connect, then we task.
It shows what is here.
Options are here. Duplicate. So we give the now it's exactly the same.
Okay. And we are on time, on time, according to our week. We are following this week as well. Oh, the camera will now be on this.
Yes, about when he came there, then we got to
So, Bill, can you write it down, which taking which chapter of Nectar devotion will go very quick? They already put this in the WhatsApp. Tomorrow, first session in the morning, we'll finish. This is the idea of Mother Amrita Devi Dasi. We prayed for you because you were worried about it. You didn't see operation. How is it afforded? But you are happy. She's smiling. She's happy. She's here. So we're going to tomorrow from noon on. We are going to begin Nectar of Devotion because 19th chapter. An easiest way for all of us to absorb. We did, Prahladananda Prabhu has a very clear idea. I did some other classes, he was there. Chaitanya Charitamrita, we had 47 members. Everybody took one chapter. So 19th chapter, I want to see who is taking which chapter. First chapter, who is taking. I'll do the introduction, preface introduction. I'll be there with every chapter, I'll add. But someone will represent, so you will feel the pressure of actually teach. So you have to take one chapter. Phil, who is taking chapter 1?
So one question I'll ask them to study with us.
No, they already sent on the WhatsApp.
A few of us.
Okay, but can you put it 1 by 2, 3, 4, 5, 5? Yes, Prabhu.
So presentation means we can give what are the
You want
we can give some guidance on what are the boundaries. Like is it like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, how many minutes, what is to be done?
19th chapter, in 5 days we have to finish it. Because Friday I did whole day about the introduction. Prabhupada puts so much important. Without the introduction, well, I don't want to put it that way. Without the definition of bhakti, it will be very difficult to understand the whole book. So definition of bhakti, Prabhupada did not make a separate chapter. He put the whole thing in the introduction. And most of the, even there is a outsider who wrote a book about bhakti, and whole bhakti definition is the whole book. So I was thinking like, because myself also, I apply that definition of bhakti every day, like how to ascertain the truth of bhakti. It's not love. I mean, we use that word love, but it is little more than that. There's the intention, there's the absorption, there's the action, and favorable, unfavorable, overextended, underextended. I mean, these are like a little. That's why it becomes very confusing. Can be. I rather say that this Friday, if you allow me, I want to just go with the 2 or 3 sessions only about the introduction and this. And then on Monday, every session will have a different presenter, maybe 3, 4 in each session will be. So it could be 10 minutes, could be 20 minutes, could be 30 minutes. I don't want to limit at this moment. Let's see how they come up with on their own. If they go, I mean, I don't think it will go too much. So 19 chapter time 10 is 190 minutes, which is 3 session. No, 2 session. I think they can take half an hour easily. Huh?
That's a long time.
Half an hour. You can talk for half an hour. And half an hour time 19 session. So that's 8.5. No, 9.5 hours. Which is good. It can be more. Mother Prabhupada Devi is shaking her. She said, sounds very good.
Saying it positively.
Yeah, positively. You can ask her. He's asking, are you positively saying that?
Yeah, actually, it gives us strength. I was in the class also in different.
Yeah, that's right. You were in the class too.
I used to be always hiding, but I want to come out this time.
I don't know if you know her. She's very intriguing questioner. She creates a question how to grasp something. So it will be very nice. Is that okay, Prabhu? So there should be a theme. There should be a theme. But from introduction, I'll already give you some clue what you're going to present us from each. And I don't think anybody will go off. I do. I know. Devotees have tolerance. I didn't know devotee have tolerance. I see that in my own experience. Tolerance. Even Patitaran Jagannath Prabhu from Malaysia will agree. He's a wonderful devotee.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat.
Dandavat Prabhu.
Dandavat Prabhu.
He doesn't sleep sometimes. He just
Oh yeah, now it's 11:19 p.m.
11:09 p.m. now.
Yes.
11:09 p.m. We'll be there whole class.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I sleep listening to lecture. When I wake up, the third session will start. So and starting a new day with your lecture. Very nice.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for tolerance.
Thank you, bro. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
So is that okay? Okay, chapter 1, who is saying?
I already chose the chapter.
Okay, she chose a chapter. Chapter 1, anybody? You can leave the blank TTD. Front Govinda Das in short, but then we'll replace. Chapter 2, you can do more than one. It's not like you take only one chapter. You can take 10 chapters.
I'll do chapter 1.
You want to do chapter 1 also? Okay. Mother Katie doing chapter 1. Chapter 2? Chapter 2, Mahatma Prabhu is excited. He's like laughing and thinking, yeah, why not? Chapter 2, good. Chapter 2, Mahatma Prabhu. You can make PPT if you want. You can make PPT. You can just bring reference to establish your point. Chapter 3. Everybody's here. No, Jagannath Prabhu is not here. Chapter 4. Write down PGD for now. Chapter 5. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4. Chapter 5, Mother Amanda. Chapter 6. There you go. Purna Chandra Das Adhikari. That's his full name. Chapter 7. All right. I can write another text who is concerned about your spiritual upliftment. Somebody loves you so much, that's why they're asking. They want to see you in spiritual world while you are here.
Yeah.
Chapter 7. Chapter 8. Mahatma Prabhu.
Yeah, I posted 8.
Oh, so you drink both two and
Yeah, 2 and 8.
Take all the
You cannot? No?
too much difference. Let me look. Okay. Keep it up.
Chapter, okay. What is missing, mother?
So 2, 3, 4 are missing.
Some of them are in the chat.
2, 3,
He
4.
doesn't want to do the 2 and I
Okay.
put him on 8.
Chapter, then you can call out the number. Where's the microphone? Give to her.
So who's 2?
She is excited. You can give her to.
14.
14 and 2.
Okay, 14 and 2.
That's good. If you feel pressure, it's good. Because
We need time though.
I know pressure is good. You have a 60-second time 24. How much is that? 24 times 60. Yeah, that's a big number you have. You talk about time.
Okay, but then class time.
That's true. That's a nourishment. If you are hungry, if you get extra cake, you don't come to them.
Anna is 14. I already put 14 and 2. So 3 and 4 are still missing. What's 2?
That's it. All 19 is taken.
No, 9. So okay, 3, 4, 9, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
She's saying
9. Alvani. Okay. 9, chapter 9. Yeah, one more. Do you want to do one more?
You want to do 18 still?
Mother Prabhupada, which one are you thinking or you taken already?
No, I did not think. I'm thinking which two. One more.
Which one?
Maybe 13, Hari, Mahamantra. Really? 1 and 8. Word.
And the mother Prabhupada Devi, 13 she said. Okay, everything is taken already, right?
But
No.
we have like 4 or 5 chapters left.
You know, Jagannath Charan.
Jagannath Charan Prabhu. Somebody is missing.
Yeah, they're not okay. Rather than the Prabhu, he has 10
Yeah,
or
he has
11.
10 and 11.
Remaining all we can ask for.
He has taken 10 and 11.
Remaining all for the.
Africa 17.
Good, very nice job.
So actually, I can move KDs to 17, so you take to 18 and 19. Because then that's.
I mean, to be honestly, when you eat rice and dal, if somebody give you sabji, you don't say no, you just take it. So extra chapter is like that. It's adding to your relish. Chachari. I didn't hear that word long time.
Like if we all take one chapter, there's only 19 chapters and there's 12 people.
Okay, we're done, right?
No,
We
Prabhu,
have
we still have
13,
12,
15,
15,
16, and 3.
So who's doing 17?
You're doing 17. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Can assign one to Jagannath Charan. Assign one.
18, 19, 17, 18, 19. So
Mother,
we're going sequence.
Mother Naman, Jagannath Charan Prabhu.
You can assign one.
I don't know.
You know Jagannath Charan Prabhu Western. So you did one.
How about the SN 15 and 16 both to Jagannath?
Just give one. Better.
Then I give him
I
30.
don't know next week. Yes. He's a very nice guy. And give one chapter to Patitaran Jagannath Prabhu. Which one?
Number 3.
Yeah, middle of the night he will wake up and tell us. Give him 3. Prabhu, you're going to take Nectar Devotional chapter 3. Patitaran Jagannath Prabhu.
Sorry, what?
And you have one more
Yes, Prabhu.
chapter.
We have
You are doing a Nectar Devotion presentation, chapter 3.
Oh, okay. When, Prabhu?
Mother Ramana will send you. We'll add your name here in the WhatsApp.
All right, all right.
You have one more chapter?
Actually, I'm moving mine to 15 and 16. So now we have 4, 5, and 12 open.
Vidura Prabhu, can you take one chapter? Mauritius is too hot.
Yes,
Jordan
Prabhuji.
is very cooling. You have to take one chapter.
Hare Krishna.
I'm asking you to
Yes.
take one chapter, Prabhu, of Nectar Devotion.
Yes, Babuji. It's
Okay.
when, time, place.
Through the Zoom.
Okay.
Uh,
Date.
or unless you want to fly from Mauritius to Florida.
Oh, yeah. Just non-stop, right?
There's a non-stop flight to London, Prabhu said.
I will like the devotees, they are the assembled devotees. I would like to be there.
I'm not sure.
Thank you. Maybe one day you will be here. What chapter?
So
Mother Ramana. Vidura Prabhu is asking which chapter you are.
It depends on. Oh, you already put it. Okay, so between 4 and 5.
No, give one.
He got only one. You want me to give? Oh, okay, okay, good. Okay.
No. You have to listen your wife. You have no excuse. Yeah, thank you.
Which chapter?
See, he agreed. He knows.
We just have 4 is the only option.
4 is the Vidura Prabhu.
4 and 4,
Nectar of Devotion, chapter 4.
chapter 4. Okay.
Next Monday we will start.
Oh, next month.
Next Monday. Not next
Next
month.
Monday.
Month.
Okay, okay,
Oh,
fine.
that's great. Okay, fight.
So please give me the time because there's a wide difference between time, eh? You have to give me the
Sure.
proper time.
I'll send you.
So that means, Prabhu, I'm doing chapter 3, yeah?
Yeah, you're doing chapter 3 and Vidura Prabhu will do chapter 4.
All right. Okay, sure, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Again, access.
Okay, we got 4 and 5 there, right?
We do number 3. Let's solve the confusion. Hold on. Who is doing chapter 3?
Chapter 3 was signed with this Jagannath.
Or
I don't know who
didn't you
changed
tell him that he's doing it?
We make the final list and post it there.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. I don't know who changed it, number 3, but it was assigned to
Okay, then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
So, chapter 1, Kelly, chapter 2, Anna, chapter 3, this Jagannath Charan Prabhu, chapter 4, Vidura Prabhu, chapter 5 and 6, Purnchandra
You put
Prabhu.
Vidura Prabhu Mauritius, so we know exactly.
Okay. And, yeah, we'll put the location. And chapter 7, Atharva, chapter 8, Mahatma Prabhu, chapter 9, Alvani, chapter 10 and 11, Prahladan Prabhu, chapter 12, Atharva again, 13, Prem Prada Mataji, 14, Anna, 15 and 16 I'm doing, 17 is Kaylee, 18 and 19 is Amrit.
Okay, I added 2 names with the group, so they will get the final. Let us do Mangalacharan together. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishram Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamahiyam Dadati Shravantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Srirupam Sagrajatam Saganam Bhamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganam Sri Vishakamitamsha Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Navadi Bhaskara Sutari Pancha Kalpa Taruvasya Kripa Sindhu Parimasa Patitanam Padmito Vaishnavyo Namo Mahavaya Krishna Prema Prajapayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Roshena Panchatatmatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktasam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesh Gopika Kantam Radha Kantam Namaste Tatra Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwavanu Suri Devi Pranamami Harite Bhakta Vihina Yaparada Lakshe Shifta Shakamaditarangamate Kripamaitam Saranam Prapanna Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhajami Radha Arvinda Netram Smarami Radha Madhusmitasam Badami Radha Varadram Tato Mamanasi Gati Natopi Kavivasmi Nadivami Kaya Vina Vigni Vignaya Devi Tanmay Mama Charanantikam Vrindaye Tulasi Devaye Priyaye Keshvasya Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Sattvatai Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Thank you, brothers and mothers. Who is expressing gratitude? You kindly give us some nourishment. Remember, when we hear others' feelings for their spiritual master or Prabhupada and Rupa, what it does, it reinforces our feeling for those well-wisher. It's a fact. From my own realization, I'm just expressing. It's so important to hear and speak also. Yes, mother.
Thank you so much. I first want to thank my forefathers because my sister in Vrindavan and then she checked with the astrologer. And then the astrologer said that my forefather and my father said did something very good and it actually affect the future generations. So that is why me and my sister are doing, Krishna conscious and practicing sadhana very good also because of our forefathers. So I want to thank my forefathers. And I want to thank my grandparents who raised me. And my grandparents, they are not in Krishna conscious, but they are very supportive. Especially my grandpa, he will draw me at the temple and pick me up and he will eat prashadam too. So, yeah. And every time he read Bhagavad Gita, he will cry. Every time. And then I say, why did you cry every time you read Bhagavad Gita? He said, you should read Bhagavad Gita. And again, we finish Bhagavad Gita and we start again, and then he cried. And then asked again, he said, same thing, you should read Bhagavad Gita. Then you learn. Thanks, my grandpa, my grandma. And next thing is, I'm so very grateful that I'm staying here because it's calm and peace. Thanks to Krishna. And then I also want to thank the air that I breathe. The air is so pure, fresh compared to the city air. So I'm so grateful that I'm here. Next thing is the prasadam they serve here is hot compared to other temples. The prasadam they serve is cold. They cook 3-4 hours early, you know. So I'm so grateful that I'm here again. And next is the water. The water that I shower, it actually removed my dandruff. I don't know how. It's been like more than 2 weeks I didn't use shampoo, and my hair is not oily and it's no dandruff. I don't know why. It's in the water. I'm so grateful that I'm here again. The next thing is the cows here. I really, every time I see them, it just reminds me of Krishna pastime, how much he loved the cows. All the pastime about cowherd boys and the calf and then another cow. Um, and I think we should take the opportunity to serve those cows. And I'm so grateful that I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, I didn't even think all this. Thank you. Now I'll start thinking. It's true. Prasadam is fresh. The devotees are so nice. The management is very pakka, very clean, very nice. So thank you. So today we have a little different format. We are going to read the slokas first, read the whole purport, and then we'll have a discussion. Sounds good. Let's try. So first, you have it, Mother?
No.
You have to be ready always for the slokas.
Oh, okay. What do we go? 7 and 8.
I want to be 8.
We're not gonna finish 7?
You're good. We'll come back.
Oh. Should I start?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So brothers and mothers, you don't need to be perfect to inspire others. There's a two types of function we have. One is our personal purification and helping others to purify. And more you think about it, you will, hopefully you will agree with me, or you can correct me. I don't need to be perfect to inspire others. Rather, people will be inspired how I deal with my imperfection. Prabhupada's life, I looked at it. So many challenges, how he dealt. It's more attractive to me then he's just Mahabhagavat. I don't know what exactly. But how he dealt with these challenges, how he convinced others, this is what attracts me about. This is just me. I see that. So, great personalities like Prabhupada or you all are not born in maternity. They are born or they are made great how? By the choice they make. If you really think very deeply, all the great personalities in our movement, the choices they made, what made them a great devotee. They choose, like I mentioned, Sacinandana Maharaj. He could have just go off. Instead, he was crying and praying to the deity to be engaged and don't want to waste time. And he came back and he's so successfully preaching all over. It's so nice. Many examples like this, many examples. So at one level, I would say purification means removing the impression, last few days we are talking, which are imposed upon us by external world. Another understanding of purification is activating the longing for supreme, which is the innate nature of the soul. If you feel you're missing Prabhupada Krishna, then actually you are at the constitutional level. This is boils down to this part. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he says separation is more important than union in our level. Can you all say separation? Dances on the tip of union. Separation keeps love or Krishna Prem alive. Louder.
Separation is love.
1968, Srila Prabhupada gave a lecture on Radhastami. That's why I got this. He didn't say this word, but the whole lecture was so stimulating, you know. Prabhupada says you can measure your advancement by checking whether you have a separation feeling from Radha Krishna. So if we feel separation from our Guru Maharaj, I saw many of Bhakti Charan Maharaj's disciples, they cried. I won't say all the name, but one Mataji, one Prabhu, they woke me up middle of the night after 2 days that they can't go to sleep because they're crying and crying. And I was very, of course, I spent a little time. Did I like it in the beginning? Maybe, maybe not, I don't remember. But at the end, I understood this is so important. When they feel a great separation feeling, longing from their object of love, like Guru and Krishna, this is a genuine sign of advance. What is the person's value in your life? If you don't miss in his or her absence, if you really think very deeply. And the reason I'm saying it because when Pandava were apparently burned to death in the lake house, they didn't die. But Krishna Balaram went to the memorial ceremony. And he wondered, Krishna knows that they didn't die. Krishna arranged them to hide, through the, what they call underground cave, now how do you say, underground channel, tunnel. So Krishna knows very well that they are not killed. I mean, nobody can kill unless he's sanctioned. He knows that too. He knows that he's sanctioned. Krishna probably laughing here and he's trying to mumble, talking about it. But it's interesting, him and Balaram went to the funeral ceremony. If you knew somebody didn't die and they have a very wrong information that that person died, would you go to the memorial ceremony? Funerals? Maybe not. You know that person. But I was thinking also, like, why Krishna is going to the memorial ceremony? Why? He knows that they are not dead. In that lecture is such a striking the way Krishna says. Because guess who was not there? You ever wonder when someone passes away, who comes in the memorial ceremony? Do you know who comes? Who cares for those departed souls? And who doesn't come? Who didn't care that person's life in their lives. And Krishna gave a beautiful speech how glorious these Pandavas are. He got a one-time opportunity to really glorify in front of all the enemy and friend because they all killed him. You remember when all the Lankavashis died and Division was hesitating. Not hesitating, you are just not sure how the funeral will take place. It's like a doctor's activity and the funeral activity, they're both same. Because doctor, who was a doctor, when you have an enemy patient, you cannot treat him as enemy. He's just a patient. He's equal as a friend. Because his duty is doctor, he will treat exactly whether it's enemy or friend doesn't matter. Patient is patient. So after somebody dies, there is no enemy. You all are equal. So Krishna gave a beautiful speech, and then he says that how valuable Pandava's presence was in the life of millions. And he glorified Pandavas, each of them, knowing that they are not there. But everybody heard it and they cried. Krishna made them cry for Pandavas. This is so nice. If you really ask yourself, what is the value of somebody's presence in your life? Will you cry if this person disappears or goes away? Will you miss that person? Why do we cry for Prabhupada? Because his presence was very valuable in our life. Am I right?
Yes.
Thank you. That's why we miss him in his appearance day, disappearance day. We talk about it because it's so valuable. So Krishna wants all of us to become an instrument of his grace. You can pray like this. Srimad Radhanath Maharaj, he prays like this. Because I asked him also, what should I pray? I pray, make me an instrument of your grace so that you can serve other devotees. So these are very important. So Prabhu's and Mother, longing is required. Try to develop it. Even if you don't cry, what is that Govinda Maharaj says? If you cannot cry for Krishna, then cry that you can cry. How do you cry so that you can? I guess you have to develop a habit to cry for Krishna. That's true. Okay. So we are going to recite text 8. And believe it or not, text 8 is the last verse of this book. 9 is the spiritual hierarchy. Instruction is already over by this final verse 8. Final verse 8 it says essence of all Upadesh. The Nama Rupa Charita Adi Sukirtanana. Very beautiful. If you look like it's like a candy, different flavor of candy. Sukirtananu, you sing very nicely, sweetly. Smitto Kramena Rasana Manushi Niyujya. You engage your mind, your tongue. Rasana Manushi Niyujya. Tishkan Braje, and this way you can live also in Vrindavan, physically or subtly or mentally. It depends on you, where you are looking. Tadonuragi Jananugami Kalam Noye Akhilam Iti Upadesha Saram. Essence of all advice is this verse. This verse 8. Yeah, this is the essence of all advice. That's why I memorized. It's not difficult to memorize the whole 11 verses. But this is the last verse and final verse. And number 9 is just a gradation, spiritual hierarchy. That above Vaikuntha, okay, when we come to that, we'll get started. So text 8, we are going to start reciting the verse, and Prahlad and Prabhu, you can begin with that.
If the 4-mark question.
The question? Yes.
What are the 4? What is the matter? So I'll read the translation.
The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Braj, Guru Vrindavan Dham, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to this revolutionary service, offered by the Siddhantas. Since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, one has to train the mind to become his friend. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's places. The mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life, but also of many, many lives of the past. These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures. In this way, the mind's function can become dangerous for a conditioned soul. Students of psychology are aware of the mind's various psychological changes. In Bhagavad Gita 8.6, it is said, Yam Yam Vadi Smaran Tam Tam Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, that state will remain without fail. At the time of death, the mind and intelligence of the living entity create a settled form of a certain type of body for the next life. If the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, one has to take a corresponding birth in the next life. On the other hand, if one can think of Krishna at the time of death, it can be transferred to the spiritual world vertical time. This process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami advises devotees to train their minds in order that they will be unable to remember anything to do with Krishna. Similarly, the one should be trained to speak only of Krishna and replace only Krishna Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami further advises Krishna and Vraji. One should live in Vrindavan or any part of Vrajabhumi. Vrajabhumi or the land of Vrindavan is supposed to be 84 crores. In one crores equals 2 square miles. When one makes Vrindavan his residence, he should take shelter of an advanced devotee one. In this way, one should always think of Krishna and his pastimes. This is further elucidated by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Krishnam Smaram Janam Jashya. Krishnam
Jesus Sami.
A devotee should always reside in the transcendental realm of Raj and always engage in Krishna, Smaram, Janam, Jashya, Krishna, in remembrance of Sri Krishna and his beloved associates. By following in the footsteps of such associates and by entering under their eternal guidance, one can acquire an intense desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, Srila Rupa Goswami states the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.295. Seva Sagatha Rupena, Siddha Rupena Chatrahi, Tadva Vipsuna Karya, Vrajalokanu Sarataha. In the transcendental realm of Vrajadam, one should serve the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, with a feeling similar to that of his associates. And one should place himself under the direct guidance of a particular associate of Krishna and should follow in his footsteps. This method is applicable both in the stage of sadhana, spiritual practices executed while on the stage of bondage, and in the stage of sadhana, realization, when one is a Siddha Purush or a spiritually perfect soul. Upadesamrita Nectar by Swami Tilakas follows upon this verse. One who has not yet developed interest in Krishna consciousness should give up all material motives and train his mind by following a progressive regulative principle, namely chanting and remembering Krishna and his name, form, qualities, pastimes, and so forth. In this way, after developing a taste for such things, one should try to live in Vrindavan
and passes time constantly remembering Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, and qualities under the direction and protection of an expert devotee. This is the sum and substance of all instruction regarding the cultivation of devotion service.
In the neophyte stage, one should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. This is called Shravanadas, the stage of hearing. By constantly hearing the transcendental holy name of Krishna and hearing of his transcendental form, qualities, and pastimes, one can attain to the stage of acceptance, called Varnadas. When one attains this stage, he becomes attached to the hearing of Krishna Katha. When one is able to chant in ecstasy, he attains the stage of Smarana Vashta, the stage of remembering. Recollection, absorption, meditation, constant remembrance, and trance are the 5 items of progressive Krishna Smarana. At first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted at intervals, but later, remembrance proceeds uninterrupted. When remembrance is uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated and is called meditation. When meditation expands and becomes constant, it is called anusmriti. By uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi, or spiritual trance. After smaranadas, or samadhi, has fully developed, the soul comes to understand his original constitutional position. At that time, he can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relationship with Krishna. That is called Sampati Das, the perfection of life.
It is dasa, not das, right?
Correct. I was going to say. Long A, dasa, the stage. Stage.
The Chaitanya Charitamrita advises those who are neophytes to give up all kinds of motivated desires and simply engage in the regulated devotional service of the Lord according to the directions of Scripture. In this way, a neophyte can gradually develop attachment for Krishna's name, fame, form, qualities, and so forth. When one has developed such attachment, he can spontaneously serve the lotus feet of Krishna, even without following the regulated principle. This stage is called Raga Bhakti, or devotional service and spontaneous love. At that stage, the devotee can follow in the footsteps of one of the eternal associates of Krishna in Vrindavan. This is called Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti, or spontaneous devotional service, can be executed in Santaras when one aspires to be like Krishna's spouse, or the stick or flute in Krishna's hand, or the flowers around Krishna's neck. In Dasya Rasa, one follows in the footsteps of servants like Chitraka, Tatraka, or Raktaka. In friendship, Sakya, one can become a friend like Baladev, Sridhama, Sudama, or Sudama. In Vatsalya, characterized by parental affection, one can become like Nanda Maharaj or Yashoda. And in Madhurya, characterized by conjugal love, one can become like Srimati Radharani or her lady friends such as Lalita, or her sibling names Manjaris like Rupa and Rati. This is the essence of all instruction in the matter of devotional service.
Wow. We did it. Now we can go back and finish where we did not finish. It will be nice because we are actually reading Bhagavad. Anybody remembers where we said that? Because we had 1 hour class or half an hour class. No, I mean reading.
I think
Okay,
we stopped,
continue.
are you talking about where we stopped on 7?
Yeah, 7.
I think I found the paragraph. It starts with if one is sincere. I think that.
Can you start from there?
I don't remember reading.
Okay, Mother, you start.
Page number.
Alright. There are three stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord. The offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids these, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapana. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life. The conclusion is that in order to get free from the material desire, one must take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant to create an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. One must begin with faith, and when this faith is increased by chanting, a person can become a member of society. We are sending Sankirtan parties all over the world, and they are experiencing that even in the remote part of world, where there is not knowledge of Krishna, the Krishna Maha Mantra attracts those of men to our camp. In some area, the people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Only a few days after hearing the mantra, this may be imitative, but imitation of the good things is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiation by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation.
If one is sincere, he is initiated. Into this state of Vajra Kriya, one then actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds daily and refraining from illicit sex and intoxicants, meat eating and gambling. By Bhajana Kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of a materialistic life. He no longer goes to a restaurant or hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes made with meat and onions, nor does he care to smoke or drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex, but avoids sex life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming interested. That one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things, anartha is removed. The word anartha refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes detached to the Krishna consciousness movement. When a person is relieved from unwanted things, he becomes fixed in executing his Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of dormant love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including material opulence, material knowledge, and material affection of all variety. At such a time, one can understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is and what his Maya is.
Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attends the Bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna. That forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like shadow and light. If one remains in shadow, he cannot enjoy the facility offered by light. And if one remains in light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of shadow. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in the light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness. As confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita,
Krishna Surya Samamaya Haya Nidhara Yaman Krishna Dahana. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes the Krishna consciousness, the darkness, the illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish.
Okay. Thank you. That was very nice. So on text 8, some key points should be floating in front of you forefront. Like for an example, different stages of remembrance. Stages of remembrance, how does it begin? First of all, is he okay? Oh. So, let's see, unusual sound environment. What gives you guarantee to be on the spiritual platform or spiritual world? What gives you guarantee? Did I talk about that on the first day? That 7:132 Bhagavatam tells that six types of people who went back home, back to God. There is no 7 or 8 types. 6 types. Out of 6 types, 2 are unfavorable. If you have that verse, Kama Desha Bhaya Sneha Jata Bhakti Ishwara Mana Aveshu to Agam Hitta Bhavata Gatim Gata. Gatim Gata means they went back home, back to God. So one of the most important verse, that what gives you, what is the main focus that guarantees you will be in spiritual world. Gotpa Kama, then the example is given. Gotpa Kama Bhayat Kamso Desha Chidi Daya Nipa. Oh, you found it too?
Yes.
This is 7:130.
Yes.
Okay.
Kama Dvesa
Bhaya Sneha Jata Bhakti. Can you read it on the microphone? So 6 way, how many way people living entity from conditional to constitutional way? 6. 2 are unfavorable. You have to catch it while he reads, and you're going to tell them. 2 are unfavorable. We don't ever support or inspire anybody to do it. And 2 are Vaidhi Bhakti. And 2 are Raga Braja Bhakti. We focus on 2 Braja Bhakti. You'll get a special prize, but I don't have anything big. I'll give you a bottle of water. Prize. Just something. If you can tell me which 2 focus on Vrindavan, Braja Bhakti that Mahaprabhu came to give. So 6 ways are going. Everybody got it? 2 ways are unfavorable. We are not promoting, nor are we interested. but they got out of Maya. Maybe I can use that word. There's a two transformation. One transformation from the material world to material world to liberation or out of material world. From border of spiritual world, another transformation. So 2 out of 6, all 6 will be out of material world, but 2 stays there. We are not interested. There are 4 more way to enter into spiritual domain. 2 goes to Vaikuntha. We are not interested. And 2 goes to Golok Vrindavan. Now you're going to catch and tell me which are which. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Many persons have attained liberation simply by thinking of Krishna with great attention and giving up sinful activities. This great attention may be due to lusty desires, inimical feelings, fear, affection, or devotional service. I shall now explain how one receives Krishna's mercy simply by concentrating one's mind upon him.
Okay, next verse, the example. Goppa kama dhayat kamso deshat chiri daya nipa snehat
Gopya kama dhayat kamso deshat
chiri daya nipa
sambandhar
sambandha Krishna
snehat
snehat vayam vibho. Yes.
My dear King Yudhishthira, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kansa by his fear, Sisupal and other kings by envy, the Yadus by their familiar relationship with Krishna, you Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we, the general devotees, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna.
Very good. So who obtained the mercy of Sri Krishna? There are 6 ways one can get out of Maya and enter into spiritual world. So 2 are unfavorable. Which 2 are? Who raise? Please raise hand. Beside Prahladananda Prabhu, I know him. Yes, mother.
Fear and envy.
Very good. Give her a clap. Very good. Fear and envy. Envy was, who is envy? Shishupal. Chedi Daya. Nipa. Nipa means king. He was the king of Chedi. I guess Chedi is like a modern Bihar or something. Okay, that's good. And why was who? Kamsa. Okay, good. So we are not talking about that. So how many left out of 6? 4. 2 are Vaidhi Bhakti. Who are there? Affection displayed by who?
By the Yadu and by others.
No, Jodu is actually Sambandha. The word is there. No, Gopi is not. There. Huh? Pandavas. Yes, Pandavas are affection, but they never wrote a book how to go follow that path. There's no book. But that's true. Out of affection, you can go there. And then another one. Yeah, go through bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti. Here is bhakti, bhakti Thakur, Vaidhi bhakti. So who are left? 2. 2 left. One is by Kama Atmika, lust, the gopis. And another is Sambandha, relationship. This is the 2 way you can enter in Golok Vrindavan. Yeah.
What is the difference between the Yadus and Pandavas? Like, they're both, Pandavas are also kind of nectar.
Pandavas
What is the difference between Yadus and Pandavas?
Big difference. If you talk brother-in-law, well, it's not really brother-in-law, but he's a village boy who came along with Rukmini Devi. This boy grew up, in Vedic culture, when your neighbor daughter, somebody's daughter is also your sister, like adopted. Neighbor children or your brother, sister, like this. And you automatically call them uncle, auntie, like this. It's not a related, but you do call. Are you familiar with that? I'm sure some, yeah.
Yeah.
Your neighbor, you just call them, hey uncle, how are you? He's not your brother's, he's not your father's brother, but you do it. And it's accepted. It's like a relationship built up. So Jadava, so anyway, so this boy said to Lord Krishna, my Lord, I have no idea who you are. I don't have any devotion. Only thing I did, I always used to serve my sister Rukmini Devi. He's not a relative, but was a neighbor, and he always respected her. So when Rukmini Devi was given to Krishna, well, he kidnapped, you can say, kidnapped, but still there was a wedding. So at that time, dowry was sent. 300 maidservants, those girls that loved Rukmini Devi, they all went with her to live in Dwarka. This boy also, he said, I love her. She's going away. I want to be there also. So he went. He said, I don't know. You are Supreme Lord. You are glorious. I did not do much anything, meditation or austerity. I just know her, and through her, I got also in your family life. Because Krishna was smiling. But of course, it's not easy. It's not like anybody can get it. Obviously, he has some affection and towards Krishna. So the entire Vrishni, the Jodhus, they have a relation. Their relationship is predominating in their communication, correspondence, loving, sentiment. But with Pandavas, they have a affection. You remember when Krishna came to Hastinapur? Yudhishthira Maharaj was the king. Yudhishthira Maharaj was so overwhelmed. He was overwhelmed. He started shaking and he ran to grab Krishna and embraced him, welcomed him. Come, come, come. I'm so happy you have come. It's like he's overwhelming, and he took him to sit down and offered him some drinks and water, and then have a nice, beautiful relationship. So those who are older, like Yudhishthira Maharaj and Bhima, Krishna bowed down and touched their feet. And then Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadev, they come and touch Krishna's feet because they are younger. Arjuna did not touch, but he embraced, like an equal age. Nakula, Sahadev touched Krishna's feet. So after everything is over, for hours and hours, the party was going on. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj started feeling guilty. And his guilty feeling came from this dual nature. He said, oh my God, when Krishna came, he's supreme God. I didn't even welcome or wash his feet, did not worship him as a God. I was just overwhelmed, I took him like a brother. This is not good. He's God. Why didn't I do it? Are you getting it? So what was predominating?
Or a little bit of reverence.
No, that came later. Relationship, sambandha. Later on, he realized, he knows Krishna is Supreme God, but that was not even there when Krishna appeared. Later on, he cried and said, I should have worshipped him. He's God, Why didn't I do it? And he cried and regretted. But that's not predominating. It comes and goes like an ocean, waves. These waves come sometimes. So it's going. But his predominating was relationship. He's my brother, just embrace him. He's younger. So like that, we can understand. But Pandavas, they always had a very deep affection. Always. Affection was predominating. But Jadavas, when Krishna goes there, relationship is number one. Relationship is number one. Of course, amongst the relationship, there is a great difference gradation. Like Mother Yashoda and Devaki, there's Bas. I don't know. It's a long pastime, maybe I don't go there. It's a beautiful pastime that how. But there is a shorter version also. Another one. There are many Krishna reminds. One pastime is like one time Krishna was walking by and he thought of, because within the palace there is a different room for his parents, for him. It's a huge palace. Krishna goes to work every day. Krishna, yeah, he does. Don't think like we work. Krishna goes to work to Sudharma Hall every day. You read Krishna book, tell him. And they have a court cases, and they have a jester, different people come. Even Nanda Maharaj, also he has a court. Just like in this world, origin is there also. Nanda Maharaj. Of course, their court case is different. Nanda Maharaj's court case, I'll just give one example that Guru Sempa gives is so beautiful that the head Brahmana came with the case that we are Brahmana, our duty to serve Krishna by reciting the verses, by illuminating the hearts of others. Dadati, no, what is it? Dana Pratigraha. You accept the charity, you give, they do 6 kinds of service. So he said, we were reciting the Shastra and we're very happy that how beautiful Narayan is and everything. But then all of a sudden, your son just walked by. We know your son is not God. They are complaining to the king, Nanda Maharaj. Maharaj means king. Nanda Maharaj is not actually king, they are Vaishya. I'm sure you all know how he became king, right? Yes, no? Because their Vaishya is not qualified to be a king. You know, big whole episode of Karna is what? What was his biggest challenge in life? He could not get the Kshatriya that because he was raised by the Sudra, the carpenter. Carpenter is in Vedic culture for Sudra. And he had all the failure, even Draupadi was stopped. You cannot go in a competition because you are Sudra, you're not Kshatriya. It's like the biggest humiliation. All his humiliation was on this scatter. You really think. So it is a big deal in Vedic culture. But anyway, so Nanda Maharaj, father was Prajana Maharaj. Prajana Maharaj is a Vaishya. Now you know King Jayati, famous King Jayati. I'm sure you all heard, no? Yes. King Jayati. King Jayati's dynasty, there's where Jodu dynasty comes from. So Jodu, in the Jodu Vangsha, there's one king who was very powerful. And he was so famous. Now the Prabhupada gives in a purport that the Kshatriya, the Brahmana could have 4 wives. They could marry a Brahmana wife, Brahmana girl, then Kshatriya girl, then a Vaishya girl, then Sudra girl. You know why? So they don't fight each other. Who will be the prominent wife? That's interesting logic. So, because they have their status. So, this Jaduvamsa, this Devamir king, can you remember this? Devamir king, King Devamir, very famous. Devamir king had 2 wives. One is Kshatriya wife, one is Vaishya wife. From Kshatriya wife, the Surashan, the Mathura Kshatriya family, Vasudev Maharaj, this comes from his Kshatriya wife. He is Kshatriya, Jayati, King Jayati is a Kshatriya. And of course, King Jayati married to who? Their journey. Brahmana girl was accidental, was not, is actually legally they cannot marry higher caste. Nowadays we may not think like this, but actually caste system originally is by the quality. In Gainesville, this professor, she's a very intelligent lady. I know their family. She said one time, I'm going to write a thesis. She teaches in university. She said, I'm going to write thesis on Sita Devi. So then, I'm not doing anything. So then, she said, I have a few questions if you can help. I said, okay. One question was, why there is a caste system in India? It's horrible. I said, no, it's not horrible. You have caste system here too. He said, no, we don't. I said, yes, you do. If you have a young girl in your house, teenager, and you happen to know your neighbor who are so much intermingling with the family, actually they have a new relative who just came in, and he is a rapist. How do you feel? I asked her, how do you feel to leave your daughters to intermingle with this, knowing that now he's a rapist? Nowadays, I heard online you can see your neighborhood. I was told, so she said, why are you bringing that example? I said, no, I'm just asking you. Why government put this on the now online to find out who is your neighbor? Is a child molester or rapist or something? Now is I said, would you feel safe? She said, no. I said, this is called caste. You identify their action, activity, and quality, then you put them into a level. Okay, you cannot mix or come to this area. And this is required or not? She said, yeah, that seems like very sophisticated. I said, yes, that's what the original caste system. Modern caste system is by birth is a bogus thing. We don't support this. Vishnu says Chaturvarna Maya system. Guna karma vibhaga. Guna and karma. Guna means quality. Quality means they act on those qualities, not just quality. So anyway, where did we go? Oh, Jodu, Jayati. So Devamir king had two wives. One is Vaishya wife. Vaishya wife's son is Prajanna Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj's father. Prajanna Maharaj, he was so wonderful, so unique that Maharaj Ugrasen says, this village, it's under me, but I don't have to rule it. This man, who is the head of the village, is better, very good. He knows how to take care of his citizen. So, what we'll do, we'll make him the king. So even though he's born in a bush, but by his qualification, he became the king. So he started Prajanna Maharaj. Jai Sri Gaur, Jai Sri Gaur in Parabodhivai. Then Nanda Maharaj, then according to also that system, the oldest son become the king. Nanda Maharaj is not oldest son. First is Upananda, the oldest son. Upananda, Abhinanda, Nanda is the middle, then Sunanda and Nandana. These five brothers or five sons of Prajanna Maharaj. So then when Prajanna Maharaj prayed to Lord Shiva that I want a grandchild from Nanda Maharaj. And there's a whole history how Mother Joshoda and Nanda Maharaj got married. It's a very beautiful story. Now, if you think of caste system, Krishna is a really mixed mess. You can tell him when you see him. He said, you don't come from a pure genetic. You will love him. Because Nanda Maharaj comes from a mix. His grandmother was Vaishya, father was Kshatriya, so it's already mixed. Mother Joshoda's father, Sumok Ghosh, they come from a completely opposite. That's called Aguri dynasty. Abhira Nagari, you've seen that song? Abhira Nagari. This is the dynasty. Abhira Nagari is a very mixed. When you have a higher caste boy marry lower caste girl, that's a one way of generation style. But over there, the higher caste lady married a lower caste boy. In other words, the Brahmani Mata marry a Kshatriya husband, boy. Yeah. Pratilu. They are also part of this Abhiranagari. That's why we glorify Abhiranagari in that song. Yes, yes, yes. So these are very beautiful. I felt like someday to talk to Krishna and say, how come you have a mixed mess? Why can't you have like a pure genealogical dynasty? You're like a really hodgepodge. Your father come from a mix, your mother come from a mix. And what are you? You are really completely messed up or something. It's beautiful. It's the best quality. So then, when Prachana Maharaj was about to leave, because Nanda Maharaj got married late. He was about 80. Yeah. Well, eternally he is actually 80. Like Krishna is eternally how old? 16. Prabhupada said this, he never grows. Sanatana Goswami also said this. Mahaprabhu said that also. Never grows. And he also executed this. This is what I like very good. One day Mother Rukmini, I'm jumping to another story. I'll just give a little brief how. Mother Rukmini Devi, she's cooking. And she saw through the window. Just like in the West, we have a kitchen has a big window. Mother Rukmini also has a big window. Oh, my husband is coming. Well, my husband is coming and there is a girl next to him. So she knows every time he goes out, he brings a girl, new wife. That's how 16,000. He did all 8 types of wedding, not just one, 8 types of wedding. The kidnapping, Rakshasa wedding. This is Rakshasa wedding. That's how they do the wedding. Every types of wedding Krishna did in God. It's a wonderful example. So anyhow, Mother Rukmini was feeling very excited, but then something disturbed her. This is what Nectar of Devotion comes. That you may not get it. Nectar of Devotion explains. Mother Rukmini had a breast milk coming out. Now when you see husband, breast milk doesn't come. Breast milk comes of a who? For a child, mother to a child. This is eternally. This is how the mother's estimation, how much God is hungry. Nanda Kim Akrod Brahman Seyovi Mahodaya. Josuda Bha Mahabhaga Papujasya Stanam Hari. Uddhav Goswami gives in 10th canto why Mother Josoda is glorified. And so many verses, one of these verses also. Stanam Hari, the breast milk. That if you look at Devahuti and Kapil Dev, did Devahuti give breast milk to Kapil Dev? In 3rd canto, there's so many chapters in Bhagavatam. Now, Brahmaji says, before Kapil Dev appeared, be careful when the child is born. He's God. Do you understand? And she said, yes, yes. My child, he's God. So when Kapil Dev took birth, he's God. And the baby started walking and growing big, like a teenager, and then he sat down like a jogi. There was no record, never he took breast milk. Now, what's the big deal about it? Oh, it is a big deal. Because Krishna is desperate, hungry, and sucked breast milk of Mother Yashoda. And if you look at the others, even Devaki, in his childhood, could not feed breast milk. Krishna was in Vrindavan, and she was in the jail. Only one time she gave. Krishna came when he was 11 and a half. You multiply 1.5, so it's about 1.5 by 11 and a half is about like 50 to 60 minutes. So this is how they calculate. Jiva Goswami gives that calculation. Jiva Goswami is like a genius. I love his really like the way he writes it. Why I'm giving, I don't know why I'm going there. Well, there was a reason why I was trying to put it there. Okay, I know why Prajan Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj, because Krishna topics is unlimited. That's why one gives it. Oh, I know why. 16 years old. So Mother Rukmini is very bewildered. Krishna is coming. He's so handsome. Krishna is so attractive, you don't need to know. Once you look at him, you will never forget him. So he's so attractive. So Mother Rukmini is very excited. But there is a new girl. Okay, we will arrange the wedding ceremony. This is how it is. You know, Satyabhama's case, same thing. Satyabhama comes from where? Originally? Who is his parents? There is no parents. There is no parents. Srimati Radharani, out of great separation, jumped into the Jamuna. When she jumped into Jamuna, she transformed into a beautiful girl. Floating. Jamuna Devi picked her up. So beautiful. Immediately took her to her father. Who is Jamuna Devi's father? Sankar. So then when Devarshan saw it, oh, so beautiful. You know, I have one devotee who is doing severe austerity for a girl. I think I will give her. I'll give him this. So he just appeared to Satkar. He wanted a girl here. Wow, my austerity succeed. That's how Satyabhama appeared in Dwarka. But okay. When Satyabhama was given to Krishna, every wedding in Vedic culture, the first wife is like it's like a head queen. All the wives has to obey first wife. Rukmini, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur in one commentary he says, it's interesting. In Vrindavan, Radharani has an upper hand. In Dwarka, Radharani has an upper hand. Rukmini, Chandravali. Chandravali became Rukmini. Radharani became Satyabhama. Satyabhama comes under. Satyabhama is controlled. Satyabhama did lot of things. In Nectar of Devotion, we are going only 19th chapter. I like whole Bhakti Rasamrita. Because one of the chapter you will see Krishna's navel is like a dead bowl. Who is dead bowl and navel is Bhakti? Krishna's hand is like a snake. So I'll give you just one example. One example. So Satyabhama, whenever new girl comes, Krishna wants to marry, Rukmini has a guest house for them. So guest house Satyabhama is kept. And there's a beautiful, it's not any punishment, it's a luxury, Krishna's wife, future wife, after the wedding. But Rukmini Devi had to think. But the time is going little longer. So Satyabhama is thinking, she's the first wife, she doesn't want me to. I know I'm more beautiful than her. And she's that if Krishna marries, then he will spend time with me, not with her. Just how women think. Maybe you don't know, but in spiritual world they think like this. There's a competition. So Mother Rukmini Devi is thinking, and the wedding taking little longer because they want to find the auspicious date, auspicious month. There's a big ceremony. She said, I can't tolerate. I'm here like months, waiting for the marriage. I don't think it will ever happen. Then she remembers Narad Muni told her a story, how the gopis went to Kaliya's place. That's a very, you ever wonder when did Radharani got all the 8 Sakhi in love with her? How this groupism, there are 4 groups, right? Everybody knows. 4 groups, how they arranged. This is the origin of that in Kali. I'm not going to tell that story today, but this is beautiful. So she remembered, Narad Muni told her that this groupism idea, how great the Radharani is to Satyabhama. Then Satyabhama is thinking, she went outside in the veranda and there is a beautiful pond. She said, if I don't marry to him by tomorrow, I will probably jump and kill myself. I don't think I'll ever get married because it is not happening. Nobody give me any good news. And I don't think I'll ever be able to marry as long as Rukmini is there. Because she's scared of my beauty. You may say crazy, but that's how it is. So she's looking at the pool, deep pool, and she's thinking of Kaliya. Everybody knows Kaliya pool, 8 square mile, deep dark, poisonous, deadly. Anybody goes there dies. Come on, you read Krishna book, no? Anybody, any bird fly die. Demigod don't come. It's like a really scary place. So Krishna told him that you have to go after delivering him. That's why Kali had to leave. Kali is the only demon that did not change the body. You know that all the demons came to Vrindavan, they changed the body. They died. But Kali never changed the body. But it's very interesting. Then she was meditating, and then still it was taking a long time that at one point she said, I'm going to jump in this lake and kill myself. So when she's about to throw herself, the Kaliya came and grabbed. And I hope you have an experience like this. When you cry for Krishna, your tears, you don't see anything because tears are like blocking. So she said, come on, Kalyan, not here. I mean, I want to go to there, but she could not remove that hand. Remove the snake coil. So at one point, she released her hand and wiped it out, and then she tried to push it. It was not Kalyan. Guess who grabbed her body? Krishna's hand. That's why Rupa Goswami says his hand is like a snake. But when you read his hand is like snake, but hand is like snake. What is that? Because this is how Satyabhama experienced. It was so soft. You don't have to experience this by touching the snake. But can you imagine it's like so soft and really like soothing. Snake is never going to like a hard knock, you know? It's like a very smoothing, soft, what do you say, firm? I don't know those words. You know, like very comforting. So this is how she experienced Krishna's hand. That's how Rupa Goswami puts every part of Krishna's body with some mundane example, because that's how it is. It is so beautiful. And then Satyabhama says, I'm so sorry, I was saying all this nonsense. And you were listening? Krishna said, yes. No, I hope you didn't listen everything I said. So it's all right. And of course, next day was the wedding. So that's how Krishna tests. Be careful. Be prepared. Krishna will test you when you think he's not there, but he's actually listening. It's so wonderful. All this beautiful pastime. Did you raise hand? Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
I think we're done. We're done. We are early today. Can you believe that?
15 minutes.
Okay, wait. I just want to give this map and then. The map is that in order to go to spiritual world, the Bhagavatam says there are 6 ways. Everybody got it? 2 are unfavorable, 2 are Vaidhi Bhakti, but we are following Brajanuga. So Braja Bhakti is that verse says Kama, Desha, Bhaya, Sneha, Jata, Bhakti, Ishwaramana, Aveshatu, Agamita, Bhavavata, Gadim, Gata. One is common thing with all of 6. What is that? That is what we need to focus. This is the essence of this verse. What is the focus on these 6?
Uninterrupted, like remembering of Krishna.
Yes. Very smart. You got a little. Very good. Avesha. If you look at that word, it says Avesha. This is the required. Absorption in Krishna. Absorption, what gave them, whether it's a Kamsa, Shishupal, or Gopis, all are the same thing. Even Narad Muni was greedy for Kamsa's absorption. You know Kamsa? How do you know Kamsa? Shaking head. As if you all know Kamsa. How do you know Kamsa? Narad Muni literally prayed, I wish I would have that absorption. So Narad Muni is standing just to watch what is his absorption on Krishna. So attractive. So he's going, wherever he goes, all the demons, he's a demon too. All his, entourage, they're following him. So he's going on the steps to his room. All of a sudden, again you are here. He pull out the sword. Here she said, my lord. No, he said, Lord to the council. My lord, this is your shadow. Oh. He's thinking Krishna on his shadow. How much absorption? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine your shadow, you think Krishna? How much you are hypnotized by Krishna? Now he said, wow. Then Kamsa has a 2 wives. Shishupal's 2 daughters. Asti, not Hasti. Asti, or a, small a. Asti and Prapti, the 2 daughters. There's a beautiful reason why he married them. It's a private. Maybe in future I'll tell that story. But it was a very interesting that Kamsa was told by his intimate associate that today there will be a special drama for him. So what happened? Asti and Prapti, 2 wives, they dress as a Krishna Balaram. They thought because he hates Krishna so much, he's sending all the intimate associate, the demons, and never anybody ever came back. Not even one. All died. So he was very disturbed. So he said, I can't handle it anymore. I have to do something. So what did Kamsa do? You know that, did Kamsa ever go to Vrindavan? Once he went. He didn't go to Vrindavan, he crossed the river and he came just on the bank, other side. And there's an old lady, Mataji, said, hey, what is the reason you are here? Do you know who you're talking to? Oh yeah, I know, you are Kamsa. Don't argue with me. How dare you talk to me like this? He said, one more word, I'll turn you to a little girl. Kamsa said, how dare you think? And then he saw himself a little girl. He was so scared. Wait a minute, who are you? He said, I run this place. Kamsa is thinking, I thought I was the king. He said, don't say one word, I'll turn you to something else. Kamsa got so scared. He was a giant bunny. Really, I mean, it's a very unbelievable power he had. His one fist. You know, Kubala Peter, the elephant that at the entrance of Krishna Balaram's Mallana, Masinam, Vinam, Smara, Murtiman, that verses explain this. When Krishna Balaram was coming, the first opponent was the elephant. He was a big jogi. He was not an elephant. He took the form of elephant. He was a very powerful yogi. He could fly. He went to Mandar Hill, 800 mile distance height. And he could fly there by yogic power. He landed there and he saw this young boy, Kamsa. He didn't know Kamsa that time. And he just smashing this thing, that one, this one, all over the sky. We're not talking about this ground. It's a big demon, powerful. So then he thought, this guy is impossible. I'm going to smash him. When he came there, Kamsa gave one fist to Kubalaya Peter. And he calculated how genius Kamsa, I tell you. He's a Shiva worshipper, 4 Shiva deities. Till today in Mathura, you will see 4 Shiva temple is there from him. So he said, I'll give him a lesson. So he went there. When he went there, Kamsa gave him one fist, send him out of space. You think gravitation didn't work? Kamsa's speed is more powerful, fist is more powerful than gravitation. And it went straight another 800 miles up and then dropped where Shishupal was having lunch. Just imagine that. Unbelievable. And at that time, that they all realized. Because those days there was no GPS, there was no county or recording system. The kingdom was divided by mountain or a river. He's a king of this place. How is a river? That side is one king, this side is one king. There's a big mountain, this side is one king. That's how it was divided. You follow? There was no like a, how do you say, map, GPS or anything. There was no record. So like this. So Jarasandha was conquering all over Ganges. Wherever the Ganges is going, he would conquer both sides. And he was collecting more and more people. That's how all these lot of demons were collected by Jarasandha. Krishna was easily Kamsa subdued them. Kamsa subdued not by fighting, not by friendship, but by challenging. So at one point when he dropped, he fell at the lunchtime and how in the world you come from sky? Because Jarasandha actually arrested him. He was a big jogi to fight for him, to stay in his group. Jarasandha was very powerful also. He was not an ordinary human being. They are very powerful. Do you have a son?
Yeah, I was just wondering who is that older lady?
Jogamaya. You're going to meet her someday. I mean, you are already under her protection, I hope. Yogamaya. But he comes in any form. Tapaswini Mahajogini. There's a beautiful verse about Yogamaya Maham Nanda Gopa Braja, Nanda Braja Nanda Sutta Patin. What is it? Prattayani Mahamaye Mahajogi Vadishthana. This is the prayers. You can pray it. Yoga manner. Prattayani Mahamaye Mahajogi. Nanda Gopo, Nanda Suna Patim Me Kurte Namo. We are praying to you, please give Nanda Maharaja's son as our husband. Also, there is to pray to every day. Okay. Is that the end of the story? Good. So, 5 stages, you will remember. One is Savandasa, you hear. Then you have to accept it, Varandasa. Then you start remembering, and remembering goes in 5 stages. Uninterrupted, I'm just giving in English, it's easier. Then one is interrupted, first is interrupted. Then is uninterrupted. Then is uninterrupted and concentrated. Then meditation and expand become constant. Then Dhruva Smriti, you can hold that memory of Krishna everywhere. Then you are eligible to enter into the Lord Vrindavan while you are in the natural body. Is that good? 5 level, and then we'll do the 9. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. We're still under 1 o'clock. It's wonderful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha Golpatul Vishrikas in the way